When Disney bought Lucasfilm and announced Star Wars Episode VII, I, like many Star Wars fans, was very skeptical. With the story now complete, and the awful memory of the CGI saturated prequels in many a fan's head, I felt that the story should have been left alone. But as more information started to get out, including the directorship of J.J. Abrams, the return of the original cast, and some amazing trailers, that skepticism was replaced with hype, and I was very excited. Eventually, my good friend and fellow YouTuber Nick Dobby managed to get me an extra ticket to go to the premiere with him, and we saw it on opening night. Did the Force truly awaken? Did it manage to appease old fans as well as appeal to a brand new generation with a great new story? Or was J.J. Abrams simply unable to atone for the sins of the past, with the shadow of the ugly prequels rearing their head? Well, let's have a look. This is Star Wars Episode VII, The Force Awakens. Before I go into my review though, I should mention that Star Wars Episode VII was also my first experience of a midnight premiere, and it was awesome. So many people decked out in costume, stormtroopers, Jedi, Sith. There was even one girl from my local cosplay forum who was dressed in an R2-D2 dress, which was simply awesome. And a lot of awesomeness to the viewing experience. Cheering when that amazing John Williams soundtrack came, with so many reveals, and at the end a round of applause. It was simply awesome. And yeah, I definitely loved it. And yeah, I'd be willing to do that again. But enough about that. Let's go straight into the review. The characters in this film, for the most part, were absolutely excellent. Some great new protagonists, some very mysterious antagonists, and some of the best performances from the original cast that I've seen in a long time. Both John Boyega and Daisy Ridley did an amazing job as Finn and Rey respectively. Finn's character is especially intriguing, from his transformation from a loyal soldier in the First Order to a committed member of the Resistance. There was no massive backstory for him. However, the look into how the First Order operates differently from the Galactic Empire through Finn was really awesome to see. It is a really good plot point, and I would love to see them expand upon it in future entries in the franchise. Rey's own story was great on its own too. Her own transformation from a scavenger stuck on a sandy, lonely planet in the middle of nowhere to the reluctant Jedi. Rey is so reluctant to even take the lightsaber, and the journey she goes on is a very unique one indeed. Kylo Ren was a great villain too. He does take a lot of inspiration from Darth Vader, especially in the tantrum area. But he manages to make his own new character too. His actions and everything that takes place as a result of them set him apart as his very own Sith Lord. And the events of the movie make me excited for his future development. Despite his Vader-based origin, there's still a great cloud of mystery that surrounds him. The original cast gives some really great performances too. Having only seen Carrie Fisher in Family Guy since watching the original trilogy, it was really good to see her finally take on a role worthy of her talent. Harrison Ford did amazingly as Han Solo. I would even go as far to say it was his best portrayal of the character in any of the Star Wars films he's been in. Chewie was great, C-3PO and R2-D2 were really good, even for the little amount of time they spent in the movie. Oh, and BB-8, he was the funniest, cutest little thing. Honestly, such a great character who will have you in stitches anytime. However, I felt some characters simply weren't given enough screen time. Captain Phasma, for example. She had been hyped up so much in the trailers, but when the film finally came around, she was barely on the screen. I was so excited for what story she was going to bring. I guess they were hoping to make her the new Boba Fett, but she just left so much to be desired, and it was a really disappointing effort. The film's effects were brilliant too, and those who criticise the prequels for their saturated CGI can rest easy, because there is an amazing balance here. The film used some great practical effects. In fact, after the first trailer, my friend was so surprised to learn that BB-8 was actually a practical effect. And yes, while practicality doesn't have to be used for everything, you can do some absolutely amazing things for it. Rather than the CGI green screen planets we had been so used to in episodes 1 through 3, we saw J.J. Abrams take us all across the galaxy using England, Tunisia, Iceland, the United Arab Emirates. It was remarkable just to see how the crew managed to take these places from our own world and make us feel we truly were in a galaxy far, far away. It's remarkable. I love that. Then, of course, we come to the story, which is probably the most divisive part of the film. The story has been compared a lot to Star Wars Episode IV. And yeah, I'm not going to lie here, there are a lot of similarities. With plot points, with characters. Yeah, you guys definitely have a point there. But it didn't stop me from enjoying the movie. A lonely young one stuck on a desert planet who encounters a rebel and gets caught up in the middle of an intergalactic conflict. Yeah, it does sound a lot like the premise of Episode 4. But did it exactly ruin it? No, not at all. Yes, it did borrow from its predecessors, but it was able to bring in so many new characters, as well as to create a brand new story for a whole new generation. A new enemy that threatens to destroy everything the Rebel Alliance worked so hard to build. A new threat from the dark side. A new generation of Jedi. Storytelling makes it look all brand new, but there's still an element of faithfulness from the grassroots, where the franchise originally began. If you ask me, it's not wrong at all to take where you came from. And I didn't actually mind how they went about with this movie. However, I can see the point and would recommend to the filmmakers, with Episode 8, try and go for a more original storyline this time around. But at the end of the day, what was it like? A spectacular new Star Wars film that appeased both fans of the old and appealed to new fans as well. A spectacular story with some great effects and some amazing new characters. Definitely, Star Wars is back. Is it the best Star Wars movie ever? No, not by a long shot. That title still goes to The Empire Strikes Back, though Return of the Jedi still remains my absolute favourite. Was it the best movie of 2015? No, that title I unreservedly give to Inside Out. However, for what it did it really well. And yeah, I would name it as one of the best movies of last year, and I would definitely rank Force Awakens amongst the original trilogy. It worked really well, and I would give this film an 8.5 out of 10. But I'd like to hear from you guys. What did you think of The Force Awakens? Did you enjoy it? Do you agree with me? Well, let's have a discussion down below in the comments. Well, until next time guys, goodbye, haere rā, and may the Force be with you.